I used to believe that when you find the right person, everything just falls into place. For 2 years, I thought I had found her. 8 months of living together, building a life, making plans. I was so sure about us that I bought an engagement ring and hid it in my drawer, waiting for the perfect moment. Brooke was everything I had been looking for. Smart, kind, beautiful. She made me believe in forever. Then one Thursday afternoon, my phone buzzed with a message from a stranger. That message changed everything, and I will never forget what it said. Before I tell you what that message said, I want to know where you are watching from right now. Drop your location in the comments below. If you have ever trusted someone completely and had that trust shattered into a million pieces, hit that like button. I know that feeling all too well. And if you are new here, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications because stories like this one need to be told. Now let me take you back to where it all began, to the day I met Brooke, and why I thought she was different from everyone else I had ever known. I met Brooke 2 years ago at a technology conference in downtown Austin. I was there as a speaker giving a presentation on cybersecurity for small businesses. It was not a glamorous topic, but it was my world, my passion. I had spent years building my career as a software engineer, and speaking at conferences was just part of the job. I never expected to meet anyone significant at those events. They were always the same faces, the same conversations, the same lukewarm coffee. But that day was different. I was standing alone at the coffee station during a break, scrolling through my phone when I heard a voice behind me. She said my presentation was one of the most engaging talks she had attended all week. I turned around and there she was. Brooke. She had this warm smile that made me forget every word I had prepared for my next session. She worked in marketing for a startup and had come to the conference to network. But instead of giving me a business card and walking away, she asked me a question about data privacy that showed she actually understood the topic. That never happened. Most people just nodded politely and moved on. We talked for 20 minutes, then 30. By the time the next session started, neither of us wanted to leave. We exchanged numbers and I spent the rest of the conference hoping she would text me first. She did. That night. That was the beginning. And God, what a beautiful beginning it was. Our first date was at a small Tex-Mex restaurant by the Colorado River. The food was average, but the conversation was incredible. Brooke told me about her dreams of opening her own marketing agency someday. She had this fire in her eyes when she talked about her future, and I found myself wanting to be part of it. She asked about my life, my family, my goals. She remembered every detail. The next time we met, she brought up something I had mentioned casually, something even I had forgotten, I said. That was when I knew she was paying attention. Really paying attention. Over the next 6 months, we fell into a rhythm that felt effortless. She would send me good luck texts before important meetings. I would surprise her with flowers on random Tuesdays. My friends loved her, especially Marcus, my best friend since college. He told me she was a keeper. My sister Tina said the same thing. Everyone could see how happy I was. After 6 months, I told her I loved her. We were sitting on my balcony watching the sunset paint the Austin skyline in shades of orange and pink. She looked at me with tears in her eyes and said she had never felt this loved before. She told me about her past relationship, about an ex who had hurt her deeply. She did not say his name, just called him her ex. She said he made her feel like she was never enough, like she was always competing for his attention. I held her that night and promised I would never make her feel that way. I meant every word. 14 months after we started dating, I asked Brooke to move in with me. My apartment in South Austin was nothing fancy, but it was home. She said yes, without hesitation. We spent an entire weekend redecorating, turning my bachelor pad into something that felt like us. She hung photos of us in every room. She bought plants and placed them on windowsills, saying our home needed life. We started a tradition of cooking dinner together every Sunday, trying new recipes, laughing at our failures, celebrating our successes. That was when I started thinking about forever. I talked to Tina about it, asked for her opinion on engagement rings. She was thrilled. She said it was about time I found someone worth keeping. I started saving money, researching jewelers, imagining how I would propose. I bought a ring 3 months after she moved in. A simple diamond on a white gold band. Nothing extravagant, but meaningful. I hid it in my sock drawer, waiting for the right moment. I thought this was it. The real thing. The forever kind of love. But then the cracks started to show. About 3 months after Brooke moved in, I noticed small changes. She started putting her phone face down on the table whenever we were together. When a message came through, she would pick it up and walk to another room to respond. I told myself it was nothing. Work stuff, private conversations with friends. Everyone deserves their privacy, right? One night, I woke up around 2 in the morning and found her side of the bed empty. I walked to the kitchen and found her sitting at the table, the glow of her phone illuminating her face. When she saw me, she quickly locked the screen. I asked if everything was okay. She smiled and said a colleague needed help with an urgent project. I believed her. I went back to bed. Then came the night I saw his name. We were watching a movie on the couch when her phone buzzed. I glanced over instinctively. The notification showed a name I did not recognize. Derek. She grabbed the phone so fast it almost slipped from her fingers. She turned the screen away from me and typed a quick reply. I asked her who Derek was. She hesitated for just a second, but I noticed. Then she said he was her ex, the one she had told me about. She said they broke up 3 years ago and he had just reached out to say hello. It was nothing. She even offered to show me the messages. I looked at them. A few casual texts. How are you? Hope you are doing well. Nothing suspicious. She asked if I wanted her to block him. I said no. I trusted her. I did not want to be that guy, the jealous boyfriend who controlled who his girlfriend could talk to. She hugged me and said I was the best thing that ever happened to her. That was my first mistake. I should have listened to my gut. But I ignored the whisper of doubt, because when you love someone, you want to believe them, even when something feels off. The months that followed were strange. On the surface, everything seemed fine. We still had our Sunday dinners. We still laughed together. But something had shifted, something I could not quite name. Brooke said, "I love you" less often. She started working late more frequently, coming home at 9 or 10 at night. When I asked about her day, she gave me one-word answers. Fine, busy, tired. I noticed other things too. She would shower immediately after coming home, something she never used to do. Her phone was always in her purse or left in the car, never on the table where I could see it. I started feeling like a stranger in my own apartment, like I was living with someone who was slowly becoming a ghost. I tried harder. I planned date nights. I bought her favorite wine. I left little notes for her to find. She appreciated it, she said, but her smile never quite reached her eyes anymore. I told myself it was just stress from work. I told myself couples go through phases. I told myself everything would be fine. Then came that Thursday afternoon. I was at my office finishing up some code reviews before heading home. My phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. I almost ignored it, thinking it was spam. But something made me look. The message said, "Hey, you do not know me, but I know your girlfriend. Very well, actually. I am Derek." My heart stopped. I stared at the screen, reading the words over and over. My fingers felt numb as I typed back, "What do you want?" His reply came quickly. "I thought you should know the truth. Brooke and I have been talking. A lot. She tells me things she does not tell you. She still loves me. She said it herself." I wanted to throw my phone across the room. I wanted to believe this was some kind of sick joke, some jealous ex trying to sabotage what we had. But before I could respond, another message came through. Then another. Then screenshots. He wrote, "I am not trying to hurt you, but if I were in your shoes, I would want to know." The first screenshot was a conversation from 3 weeks before. Brooke had written, "I miss you. I miss what we had. Hale is a good guy, but he does not make me feel the way you did." I read those words and felt like someone had punched me in the stomach. I read them again, hoping I had misunderstood. But the words did not change. They just sat there on my screen, cold and undeniable. The second screenshot was from the previous week. Derek had asked, "What about Hale?" Brooke replied, "I do not know. I care about him, but with you it is different. It always has been. Sometimes I wonder if I made a mistake choosing stability over passion." Stability. That was the word that broke me. Not love, not partnership, not future. Just stability. I was her safe choice, her backup plan, the reliable option she settled for, while her heart belonged somewhere else. The third screenshot was from 4 days before. Brooke had written, "I have been thinking about us a lot lately." Derek responded, "So have I. Maybe we should meet. Talk." And Brooke said, "Maybe. Let me figure some things out first." Figure some things out. That meant me. I was the thing she needed to figure out. The obstacle between her and the man she actually wanted. I sat at my desk, staring at my phone, feeling like the biggest fool in Austin. 2 years, 8 months of living together. A ring hidden in my drawer, all of it built on a lie. I texted Derek back. "Why are you telling me this?" His response was unexpected. "Because I am tired of being the guy she runs to when she is unhappy. She does this. She finds a good guy, settles down, then comes back to me when she gets bored. I was that good guy once 3 years ago. Then she left me for someone else. Now she is with you texting me." His final message said, "I am not the bad guy here. Neither are you. We are both just her backup plans." I did not know whether to thank him or hate him. The truth hurt more than ignorance ever could. But at least now I knew. I called Marcus. My voice was steady, but my hands were shaking. I told him what happened, read him the messages. He was silent for a long moment, then asked what I was going to do. I told him I was going home. I was going to ask her straight. He offered to come with me. I said no.